If these hoes dripping, I ain't tripping about my pimping. There's only three things I care about: heartbreaking, paper making, and ass shaking. Pimp out.
I'm a pretty girl, just a bad little baby. I'm in the studio, my papa Jokasey. Gotta represent the black, just for all my Haitians. As it's off, I say, man, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. This beat got the whole room shaking. Every song that we do is amazing. This one right here is my favorite. I can feel it right now, cause I'm vibing. These glitter shoes on got me flying. I got the Cadillac flow, I be sliding.
Alright, so you know what's going on there, everybody in Patreon land. I know I ain't been on for a minute. Hope y'all been enjoying y'all holidays. Hope everything been going good and smooth, and y'all out there staying healthy, staying straight, staying out the way, and just doing what you're supposed to do, man. Just doing what you're supposed to do. Uh, you know, I like to take my little breaks every now and then, man. Get fed up in the game, get overworked, get overstressed. And, I just gotta decompress, man. Spend some time with the family and make it do what it gotta do. Cause this grind, man, it's unsustainable. It's unsustainable, but it's necessary. And that's where a lot of folks, we get lost up at, man. We sometimes people don't get on the grind because they know it's not gonna be sustainable. And they think that it needs to be sustainable in order for them to be somebody. So they just, sit on the sidelines and say the hell with it. But it's necessary. And if you do it the right way, you can get where you're supposed to go and just put everything on cruise control. That's pretty much what Jokasey trying to do with these books. And this YouTube and this Patreon and all that stuff, man. Trying to get it to a point where I can put it on cruise control and where it's quality content coming out on a consistent basis, effortlessly. Because right now it's quality content coming out on a semi-consistent basis, and it's taking 120-hour weeks, 100-hour weeks to get it done. I was talking to the homie Dry Connect about this the other day, man, and salute to the homie, man, on this journey to getting this money, man, and shout out to the homie too, man, for supporting on the Cash App. Anybody else who been supporting on the Cash App? This is how busy Jokasey been. I had a couple of cash outs get returned because I didn't accept the Cash App in time. So I apologize to anybody who, went out of their way to send me their hard-earned donations to $ Free Game Show 2020 at Cash App. And Professor Jokasey was so goddamn on time after working and, spending time with his kids and, trying to do what I do on the little dating side and all this other stuff after, because you only get so much energy in a day. Didn't even have time to check my Cash Apps or my emails. People were personally requesting autographed books at ProfessorJokasey@gmail.com. Didn't even have time to check that, man. This is just how physically exhausting being a one-man army can get sometimes. So I gotta branch out. Like I say, cruise control. I gotta branch out. Like shout out to the late great Kevin Singers, man. Dude had an editing team. He had dudes that was editing this stuff. He'll do the recording and ship it off and let them cats do it. I gotta set up the studio so I could just start going live and get easier shows out that way. So the content could be on a consistent basis. But this is the importance of hard work that I'm trying to tell you guys, man. Like, you gotta get it to the point where you can put it on cruise control, but it'll never get to the point that it's gonna be on cruise control unless you lay the foundation first. You gotta do the hard work. But that ain't really what I came on here to talk about, man. Patreon subscriber, when I finally got to the cash outs, he asked me, Professor Jokasey, with all this game you got, why you never became the pimpin'? And I know if I don't think he's been following me for too long. Because if he's been following me, one of the main reasons I said I would never be the pimping was because the laws, the laws and all that stuff that went into pimping. But that's not really the whole truth. It wasn't about the laws and all that time they gave pimps and shit like that. Because you got to remember, I sold crack, and I sold crack at a time where if you had 1 gram of crack, that was worth 100 grams of cocaine. So they were giving people hella crazy numbers for selling crack in those days. Professor Jokasey was one of those sellouts. See, this is why I don't look at the guys who selling out for $10 million like they the problem. Cause you had guys like Professor Jokasey on the bottom man who was selling out the community for $400-500 a day. I'm not proud of that. I'm not proud of that. Very ashamed of that. But like I say, I didn't have the guidance. So I try to be the guidance to anybody that listen to me that I didn't have. People was actually training me up and raising me up to be that type of dude. Most notably, the pimping. Because I was selling dope for the pimping. The same guy who taught me the game was the same guy who put those 50 packs in my hand. But that's another story. That's neither here nor there. But that's definitely something I'm not proud of. But so when black folk be talking about sellouts, we got to focus on the sellouts on the bottom level before we focus to the sellouts on the top level. But this is the real reason why Professor Jokasey never became the pimp. The same reason why Professor Jokasey, believe it or not, I didn't stop macking, but I evolved my macking over time when I realized that macking was wrong. Well, I'm not going to say macking is wrong. I'm going to say one-way macking. Right? One-way macking, when you just taking from somebody and you're not giving back. When you're dealing with females who got children and, these females, they can't even really take care of their kids the way they want to take care of their kids. The kids ain't got no video games. I mean, one time it broke my heart, man. And, I finally met this girl kids. It wasn't on purpose. She was rushing to see me because she had to come bring me something. And she had a little son in the bike, and her son was asking her for a game system. And she was telling this boy she couldn't afford a game system. Yet she had gave me $200 a week earlier. Because I had to tell her something. I put something in her ear about I might need the $200. I didn't even need $200. I had $2,000 on me. I just wanted to get $200 out of this girl. Now, of course, this was back in the younger days. As we continue to age out, the game will push us out. The game will push us out. It could be for various reasons. It could be for health issues. It could be for a lot of shit, man. Like, I'm getting up to that age right now where I got to go see doctors. They doing x-rays and they finding this, they finding that, and they like, oh, shit, you got to go in here and see about this, see about that. You start to get up in the ages where the game will start to push you out. The game will start to push you out. Your hair will start to turn gray. The skin in your face will start to sink in. A lot of shit will start to happen once you get older. You're not that same spring chicken no more. So then, when I go back to what I was trying to tell y'all though, because I don't want to get too far off track with this. Why Professor Jokasey never came to pimping. Same reason with street hustling. I saw nothing wrong with street hustling until I seen something wrong with street hustling. What you mean by that, Professor Jokasey? So many people tried to tell me that hustling was bad. That, hey, man, you're throwing away your life. Hey, man, this ain't what you're supposed to be doing. Hey, man, you know what I mean? Go to school, go do this, go do that. So many people, nobody could get through to me. I didn't want to hear nothing nobody said until I woke up one day and I saw it was wrong for myself. This is the problem with the younger generation, because you can't raise somebody to think something is right. And then you got the other sector that the guys who come along after we done been raised to think something was right, they come along and they tell us that it's wrong. Where are you guys when these kids are babies? Don't come to these kids when they teenagers and they almost 20 and they've been taught this wrong shit all their life, and then now you try to tell them it's wrong. You guys who come to you guys and tell them that it's wrong, you guys got to be there when they babies. You guys got to be there when they the seed, when the seed is getting formed. You can't let a seed form into an orange tree, and then when the seed starts bearing oranges, you tell the seed, no, oranges is bad. You're supposed to be bearing apples. That's what's happening. We got a lot of these kids growing up, listening to all this bullshit music, being around all these negative influences, and then they growing into a product of their environment. And then once they get out there, they finally come across the positive section. And the positive section is telling them, hey, man, what y'all doing is wrong. Y'all need to stop that. Y'all killing your own kind. Positive people. Where are you guys when these kids are in the room? Where you guys at when these females is walking around and they ain't got their baby daddy up, man? These kids are getting born into these effed up environments. So I had to grow up that way. And it wasn't until I could see for myself that it was wrong that I stopped selling dope. Once I seen for myself, okay, man, this shit is fucked up. It's really hurting a lot of people. Once I couldn't look myself in the mirror, once I couldn't be proud of myself for doing that, that's when I stopped. Could nobody tell me to stop doing it. I had to see for myself. And the sad thing is, some people don't never reach that level where they can see for themselves that it's wrong. Some people do that shit till they die or they go to jail, and you got some cats 50, 60 years old still want to push that shit. They never go out of that. They never go out of that sellout mentality. So this is what happened with the moment I seen that selling dope was wrong, I stopped selling dope. I couldn't do it no more. I couldn't look myself in the mirror. If I can't look myself in the mirror, then I can't do it. If I can't do something to hold my head up high, if I got to be ashamed of it, if I got to walk around and be sneaky about it, then I can't do it. I don't want to do nothing I'm ashamed of. So the moment I became ashamed of selling dope, that stopped. Same thing with macking on a one-way street. And see, this is the thing about macking. Same thing about pimping. Same thing about selling dope. The longer you do anything that's nefarious, the longer you do it, and the greater you try to become, the more dirtier you have to be. See, you can sell nickels and dimes and be kind of cool. You ain't really got to go too far in the game. Just like you could be macking on a woman and just sleeping on the couch here and there. You could be pretty cool. You ain't really got to go too far in the game. Even some areas of pimping, you could do some soft shoe pimping where you ain't got to be, all gorilla with it and all that shit though. But try to climb up that ladder. The higher you go in that ladder, the more dirtier you have to be. When my macking got to the point where I had to start lying to females, I said, oh, man. The older I got, you can't just be asking for $200 and then you're a grown-ass man. So now, bitch, you want to know, hey, why you need this? Why you need that? Why you need that? So now you got to start lying to a bitch. Now you got to start scamming on a broad and all that. See, now you're going to a dark zone with your macking. Same thing with pimping. When you got to start beating on bitches and all that shit there, you got to start doing. Now you're going to a dark zone with your pimping. Same thing with dope dealing. When you got to start shooting at rival peoples and you got to start beefing over territory, now you're going to a dark zone with your street hustling. The bigger you try to go, the dirtier you have to be. This is the only way you can avoid bad times. The only way you can avoid bad times in the game is by doing bad things. You got to do bad things to avoid bad times. So as I started seeing the game from that perspective, I started I said, it's getting kind of crazy. I gotta move away from it from a little bit. I gotta find me a neutral ground, neutral standing. So it's like when I deal with a woman now, okay, man, like, okay, shawty, I don't gotta take advantage of you for your resources, but you gotta bring something to my existence more than just the pussy. More than just the pussy. And I'm gonna try my best to reciprocate what you're bringing in ways that you didn't have before you came to me. It ain't just, okay, I'm just trying to play you right. I'm not trying to play nobody out right no more. And it's not just because I'm getting older and it's harder to do it without being dirty, because that's some of it. It's real hard to be out here macking in your 40s and you're not doing nothing dirty. But it's more of I don't want to just be using and manipulating people for my own personal benefit, because that's the type of energy that you're going to bring upon yourself, man. That's why Professor Jokasey ain't pimping, because I don't want to be out there putting that type of energy. I don't want to be out here doing no dirty shit. just to ensure that my pimping is going smoothly. I don't want to be out here kicking no girls in the stomach, beating no females up, having no females out here doing shit that they don't want to do when they don't feel like doing it. That's a scum of the earth type shit. I ain't mad at nobody. I'm not hating on nobody for doing it. If they doing it, if they not, it's because that pimping shit is a very thin line too. When you talk about street pimping, no, it's way different than blue collar pimping, corporate pimping at the job office and all that shit though. But that street pimping, very tricky line. Cause like I seriously believe 7 out of 10 of them bras out there that's street pimping. I mean that's prostitution. They don't want to be out there. They don't want to be out there like that. And if they do want to be out there, they damn sure don't want to be out there 24/7. How these niggas be having them out there. So that's a very thin line. Like it's a lot of dirty shit going on in the pimp world. So that's like that. I don't want to be a part of that. I had the game for it. I had the game for that shit. I had way more game. I had more game than I needed for that shit. Just didn't want to be a part of it. Just didn't want. I'm not flicking my nose up like I'm better than nobody doing that shit. That just wasn't me. So you can hear this shit and say, oh man, that nigga Jokasey ain't no real Mac, he ain't no real pimper, he ain't had no pimp bones in his body. And hey, if that's conclusion that you come to from listening to this, then hey man, I concur. I agree with you. I had the game. I got more game to do that than any nigga out here that's doing it. I definitely got more game to do it than any nigga out here that's doing it. I just don't got the will to do it. Just like when it came to this hustling, man, I was a good street hustler, man. When it came to that macking, I was a good Mac, man. But it got to the point where I just didn't have the will to do it. When it got to the point where it's like, okay, bam, how can I get 1,000 out of a bitch? How can I get 10,000? Then now I started feeling like a bitch. I'm like, bro, you a grown man, bro. Like you really like, god damn, bro, you just sitting here, you just trying to use and abuse the females that you really. Like, as a man, you really supposed to be taking care of these bitches now, bro. As a man, this is why I keep telling y'all, the simpism is the foundation of masculinity. The guys who y'all call a simp, the guys who go out here and take care of their family and their children, that's the foundation of masculinity. Then from there, it just goes up. From there, it just goes up. You could be an outright honest simp and do everything you're supposed to do as a man. Never lie to your woman. Never mistreat your woman. Never be dishonest. Nobody never have a bad thing to say about you. If you a good simp, now you got some simps that just hate us. Now I don't really fuck with the hating. That's the only thing I don't like about the simping. When the simping start hating on people, then like I like honest simps. If you an honest simp, you a hard-working simp, you just, hey, man, that game shit y'all got going on, I don't really care about that. All I just want is a woman to hold me tight at night, cook my dinners, take care of my children, and I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do as a man. I tip my hat to guys like that because they are the foundation of masculinity. Guys who are productive members of society. Not the simping who just broke as hell, can't keep a job, can't keep a woman, just sitting around hating on everybody because his life is ass and he can't do nothing. No, see, you got two type of simps. Just like you got two type of Macs. Just like you got two type of tricks. Just like you got two type of pimps. You got two types of everything. But once it start going to the dirty side, that's when you got to come back to the right side. That's what happened to me with this macking. Once my macking started going to the dirty side, well, I'm lying and I'm scamming. Okay, no, I got to come back to the clean side of the macking. Well, okay, bam, I'm dealing with this woman for her resources, but I'm also making sure that I provide something in return. I'm making sure my energy is good. I had to come back to the good side, man. I don't want to be the bad guys. How WWE had, you had the NWO, they were the bad guys, and you had, when Hulk Hogan wasn't with the NWO, he was with the good guys. I had to come back to the good guys, man. I had to come back to the good guys because shit was just getting crazy. But this how this game go, man. This how this game go, man. So that's why Jokasey didn't become no pimping. I had plenty of females try to put me in the game. Plenty of females out on Mac known, was giving me money, was giving me way too much money, was giving me more money than I was asking for. Then I eventually found out that they was doing what they was doing. I talk about that in my book, Mycology, how Brad tried to, put me on it, and I like, nah, Shotty, you can't do that. You can't do that, because I don't need these people thinking that I got you doing nothing that you ain't supposed to be doing, and then, blah, 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 blah. But the reality was, I don't have the discipline or the desire to control you like that. I don't want to control you. I don't want to tell you what to do. I don't want to babysit you. I don't want to be over you like this. I don't want to be put in a position of, if I tell you to do something and you don't do it, and then you try to cause up a disturbance with the other folks. I don't want to be in that position to have to come out of my character, because that's not my character. That's not my character. But if you do something long enough, then guess what? It'll become your character. If you hang around crackheads long enough, you're going to start smoking crack. If you put your foot up a woman's ass enough times, you're going to become a woman beater. That's going to become part of your character. Even if you only started doing it for the sake of business, that's not my character. I'm not into putting my hands on females like that. I'm not into telling females what to do like that. I don't want to tell you what to do. That's one of my favorite parts about macking. I never had to tell a bride nothing. I don't want to tell you, you're a grown-ass woman. I don't believe just because I was born with a penis, that makes me better than a goddamn woman. These niggas are stupid, man. These niggas, if you gonna live by the doctrine of God made you a man, so you supposed to be over the woman, you can't get mad if a white man say God made me white, so I'm supposed to be over you. Because that's how it's going. If you a black man, you can't live by that doctrine, because then you got to submit. Well, you know what? I can't even say you niggas think that's wrong, because that's what y'all do anyway. So y'all might do believe that. So when you experience racism, don't cry. You can't say I'm all for sexism, but I'm against racism. No, you got to be for both. If you agree with sexism, you got to be cool with racism. And since I'm not cool with racism, I'm not cool with sexism. I ain't never want to tell a woman how to live her life. I ain't never want to tell a woman nothing. All I wanted was, hey, when you vibing with Jokasey, make sure you show love, make sure you do what you're supposed to do. And everything will be gravy like that, though. Everything will be gravy. I ain't trying to step on your toes. I don't want you stepping on my toes. You feel me? But yeah, that's just a little response I wanted to make, man. I'm back in the studio, man. I just had to take some time, man, and get my act together, man. I guess we back at it. So y'all be cool on your stool. Let me get back to working on these audiobooks. It's a lot of hard work, man. I gotta do the audiobooks. I still gotta work my 9 to 5. I gotta try to be there for my children. I got all these other appointments. It just, man, it's work. It's work. It's time consuming. But at the end of the day, you gotta know where that finish line at, and you gotta know that you're doing something that's bigger than you. And if you can grasp that, and if you could be okay with the effort and the energy and the time that it's gonna take to get all this stuff done, you'll be all right. I know it can get overwhelming, man. It can get overwhelming trying to be what you want to be in life. It could be overwhelming, man. But hey, you gotta make a decision. You gotta go for it. So y'all be cool on your stool, man. Jokasey just wanted to come and just be vulnerable with y'all for a little minute. Just tell y'all, what it was about, man. Like, why I never wanted to go into that direction. I don't disrespect the pimping. I don't look down on the pimping. I don't think the pimping is above the macking, because in order to pimp, you still got to mack on a woman in order to pimp. The pimping come into play when you start dictating what the woman is gonna do. The pimping ain't nothing but a mack who dictating what the woman does. The pimping ain't nothing but a mack that provides for the woman that he's pimping on. The macking ain't got no responsibility. The pimping got responsibilities. That's the only difference. That's the only difference, man. If you can mac on a woman, you can pimp. If you can mac, you can pimp. But if all you know how to do is pimp and you ain't got no macking in you, you're not going to be no good pimp. If you know how to tell somebody what to do and you know how to give somebody proper instructions, but you don't know how to mac it up out of them, then what's the use of those instructions? It's like a basketball player who don't know the fundamentals of the game. You got all the talent in the world, but you don't got the fundamentals to be successful with your talent, then your talent is worthless. It's like a rapper, a great rapper who don't got no record deal. You got all these great songs, but you ain't got no deal. You can't do nothing with that music. So you got to know how to mac the pimp. You know, so that's why I don't view the pimping greater than the macking, even though the Pimpology is gonna be my last book in this series. But nah, man. Pimping is I wouldn't even call it an evolution of macking. Pimping is a different pimping is a different, how can I put this eloquently? How can I put this eloquently without, making myself look like a guy who ain't really on the stroll with his vernacular. Pimping is a subsidiary. Is that the word? I don't know. See, I don't know. Hey, y'all record that and laugh at Jokasey for fucking up his words. Y'all laugh at Jokasey for fucking up his words. But I'm man, it's 2:00 in the morning. I'm doing this, man. And only reason I'm doing this because I ain't doing no videos and I don't know how long. I gotta start going live, bro. I gotta set up my camera studio so I can go live because it's just easier to just go live. Either just press the button, go live, and just talk for 10, 15 minutes, and I can make sure I got a video up there for you guys at least 3-4 times a week. That's what I'm about to do. I just don't want to go live because YouTube ain't paying me nothing. Like, YouTube already pimping me. And then if they can get you on camera and don't pay you nothing, like that's the biggest form of pimping. Not only do we got you giving us free shows, but we got you on camera. We got you doing actual TV shows. We got you on camera, bro, for free. Like, come on. Should nobody be on camera who ain't worth $1 million? Simple as that, man. If I got to get on camera, damn, dog, you gonna make me get on camera for free with no money? That just tearing at my soul every time I think about that. Damn, YouTube. Y'all in order to grow my channel, y'all gonna force me to get on camera for free? That's that's a tough pill to swallow, man. But that's how they macking us, man. That's how they pimping us, man. So this YouTube ain't no such thing as a good form of pimping, but YouTube is like the type of pimping that Professor Jokasey want to get into. Like, okay, bam, I'm gonna give you guys a platform, and if you want to pimp yourselves out for me, then go for it. Maybe you get some money out of it. Maybe you don't. Maybe you become a celebrity. Maybe you don't. But hey, it's all on you. I'm gonna let you pimp yourself out. I'm gonna take the profit. You two gonna take the profits. I'm gonna let you get your own super chats. I'm gonna take 30% out of the super chat money. I'm gonna take the membership money, but I'm gonna let you pimp yourself out. That's the type of pimping. Like, voluntarily let the hoes prostitute their own selves out, man. That's the type of pimping I can look myself in the face and I can be like, okay, cool, man. I'm not selling my soul to be in this position. I'm not becoming heartless to be in this position. But it is what it is, man. Y'all be cool on your stool, man. Understand nothing cooking but 2 peas in the pot. They ain't cooking at the stove, ain't hot. I'm Jokasey. I'll holler at you.